Welcome students to yet another teaching module in economics. The unit we are dealing with is demand analysis. And in this unit, we have two chapters. One is theory of demand and the other elasticity of demand. What we are going to start today is a theory of demand. So let me take you forward. In this lesson, we will cover the following: demand and quantity demanded concepts, individual demand schedule, individual demand curve, market demand schedule, and market demand curve. So let us begin. We will begin by asking ourselves a question. I'll ask myself, you ask yourself. What happens when I demand something? In other words, what happens when I demand a good or a commodity? Well, first I see it, then I want it. I seem to want everything anyways, isn't it? But can I have it? So I check my wallet. That is my purchasing power. Once I see that I have purchasing power, I decide to go for it and buy it. I make a decision or a choice. In other words, I demand it. I once heard a child singing, I want this, I want that, I gotta have more. But let me ask you, can we have everything we want? So when do we actually have a good or demand it? When do we say that demand has been created? Well, for demand to be created, or to say that we have demanded something, there have to be three elements. The first one is desire. We should want the good. We should like it. You know, sometimes you see children looking at a jar of chocolates, for instance. They all want it. But can they buy it? Are they able to buy it? Maybe not. Secondly, we have to be able to buy it. We should have the purchasing power to buy it. Sometimes we are able to buy, but we may not want something. Thirdly, we should be willing to part with our purchasing power, with our money. So separately, we cannot say that we have demand. Only when the three together occur at a time, that time we can say demand has been created. So it should be coupled by desire, ability, and willingness. And then only we say that a demand has been created, or there is demand for a good. So just desire alone will not do, or ability will not do. All the three together, desire, ability, and willingness. So let us define demand now. What is demand therefore? Demand is the desire for a thing backed by the ability and willingness to pay for it. In the previous slide you saw there was a picture for every word that I want you to remember. One is desire, one is ability, and the other is willingness. So demand is the desire for a thing backed by the ability and willingness to pay for it. Demand refers to various quantities of a commodity that the consumer is ready to buy at different possible prices of the commodity. For example, a consumer demands 10 units at rupees 5 and 12 units at rupees 4. Therefore, the entire quantity demanded at various possible prices, or the various quantities demanded at various possible prices, if we put them together, it accounts for demand. Again, let us repeat. What is demand? Demand refers to various quantities of a commodity that the consumer is ready to buy at different possible prices of the commodity. Then what is quantity demanded? It is different from just the concept of demand. Remember, I told you demand is the various quantities demanded at various possible prices. But when we are talking about quantity demanded, it refers to a specific amount that a consumer demands at a specific price of the commodity. For example, a consumer is willing to buy 50 units when the price is rupees 10. So here you see in the example, a specific quantity is demanded at a specific price, that is rupees 10. Having studied what is demand and the concept of quantity demanded, we are now in a better position to be able to understand what is an individual demand schedule. It is a table showing different quantities of a commodity that one particular buyer in the market is ready to buy at different possible prices of a commodity at a point of time. So here we see in the table, one column is for price of the good in rupees and the other for quantity demanded in units. At price rupees 10, 50 units are demanded. At price rupees 20, 40 units are demanded. At price rupees 30, 30 units are demanded. And when the price rises to 40, 20 units are demanded. When the price further rises to 50, 10 units will be demanded. So a collection of such quantities demanded at various possible prices is a demand schedule. And since here we are talking about an individual consumer or an individual buyer, we call it the individual demand schedule. Well, what do you notice happening in the table? We see clearly that when the price is rising, right from 10 through rupees 50, the quantity demanded falls from 50 units through 10 units. So we see that when price rises, quantity demanded falls. It is so natural, no students, when we get a good bargain and something is priced less, then we want more of it. And when something is higher in price, then we want less of it. So we see some trend happening here. Let us study in the next slide the graphical representation of this schedule. Having studied the concept of demand and quantity demanded and the individual demand schedule, let us now study what is an individual demand curve. That very same schedule that we just saw has been translated in the form of a diagram. We take price on the y-axis and quantity demanded on the x-axis. The various points that you saw in the schedule or the table are plotted here. In the same way, 10 units are demanded at price 50, at price 40, 20 units are demanded, at price 30, 30 units are demanded, at price 20, 40 units are demanded, and at price rupees 10, 50 units are demanded. We clearly see something happening here. When the price falls, we see that the demand for a commodity rises. And vice versa is also true. When the price rises to 50 from 10, we see that the quantity falls from 50 to 10 units. That means both price and quantity demanded are inversely related. They move in opposite directions. When price falls, demand rises. When price rises, demand falls. So we say that there is an inverse relation between price and quantity demanded. The demand curve is labeled DD. How do we derive this demand curve? All the points that we plotted from the table are joined with a line. It can be with a free hand or with a scale. Once the points are joined, what we derive is the demand curve and we label it as DD. So in this diagram, DD is the demand curve. Now let us define what is an individual demand curve. It is a curve showing different quantities of a commodity that one particular buyer is ready to buy at different possible prices of the commodity at a point of time. Now we know that a market comprises of various consumers or various buyers. We just learnt about the individual demand schedule and curve. Now we come to study what is a market demand schedule. It is a table showing different quantities of a commodity that all buyers in the market are ready to buy at different possible prices of the commodity at a point of time. In other words, it is a tabular representation of the total quantity of a commodity demanded by all consumers at different prices. So here we have an illustration of a market demand schedule. We have here a consumer A and the quantity demanded by consumer A. We have here a consumer B and the various quantities demanded by consumer B at various possible prices. In this example, we assume that there are only two buyers in the market. The market comprises of two buyers, A and B. So how did we arrive at this figure? Well, all we do is we add up the demand by consumer A and the demand by consumer B, and what we get is the market demand, that is 110. So at price rupees 10, consumer A demands 50 units, consumer B demands 60 units, and the total market demand created by both these buyers is 110. And so also we see in the rest of the table, at price 20, consumer A demands 40 units, consumer B demands 50 units, and together they demand 90 units. Same at the price 30, 30 units are demanded by consumer A, 40 units by consumer B, and they create a total demand of 70 units at price 30. At price 40, consumer A demands 20, consumer B demands 30 units. In totality, they create a demand of 50 units. And lastly, when the price rises to 50, the quantity demanded by consumer A is 10 and the quantity demanded by consumer B is 20. Together, they create a demand of 30 units. So here we see, just as in the case of individual demand, as the prices rise, or as the price goes from 10 to 50, we see that the quantity demanded for the market as well falls from 110 to 30 units. So the same goes for the market as well, just as in the case of an individual consumer. Just as we drew the individual demand curve based on the individual demand schedule, we will now try to understand what is a market demand curve. It will be drawn based on the market demand schedule. First, let us define it. What is a market demand curve? It is a horizontal summation of all individual demand curves. It is a graphical representation of the market demand schedule. It shows various quantities of the commodity that all buyers in the market are ready to buy at different possible prices of a commodity at a point of time. So you see, when we define a curve, we will have the word or the phrase graphical representation. And when we define a schedule, we have the words tabular representation. Please note this and remember. Now, here we see three demand curves. The first curve that you see here is the curve of consumer A. So this is the individual demand curve of consumer A. Then we see, secondly, the individual demand curve of consumer B. Based on the schedule, the third diagram is drawn. If you refer back to your schedule, in order to draw the last diagram, that is the market demand curve, you will be looking at the first column of the schedule and the last column of the schedule in order to plot these points. As you can see, if you notice here, at price rupees 50, the quantity demanded is 30 units. That is the market demand of consumer A plus consumer B. Here we see at price 50, consumer A demands 10 units. At price rupees 50, consumer B demands 20 units. And in the third curve, in the market demand curve, we see at price rupees 50, both of them together demand 30 units. So that is how you can check for every point that the market demand curve is the sum total of the demand of the consumers in the market. And just like the individual demand curves which are sloping downwards from left to right, the market demand curve is also sloping downwards from left to right. That shows that even in the case of the market demand, there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. It is true for the market as well. In this lesson, we have learnt about the concepts of demand and quantity demanded, the individual demand schedule and individual demand curve, and lastly, the market demand schedule and the market demand curve. Students, I urge you to watch the video again, get thorough with the concepts, because this forms the basis for the remaining study of theory of demand and elasticity of demand. I need you to learn these concepts really well. Thank you for giving me a listening ear, and God bless you.